Hello, a very good morning. Welcome to the Mega News at 6. News coming to you live from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, Nungwa, Adugon. The news is also live on our social media handle on MBN 360. The headlines.
GAF to lead nationwide water body clean-up. NAMOS to intensify crackdown. In business, fuel prices set for marginal increase in March. LPG to fall, COPEC. And on the international front, Zimbabwe rejects lopsided U.S. health aid deal over data concerns.
Details of the stories and more. My name is El Samuels. In our first story, the government of Ghana has announced special efforts to tackle illegal mining activities, particularly in the water bodies and forest reserves.
Finance Minister Dr. Kizol Atuforson announced on Wednesday, February 25th, while addressing Parliament. According to Dr. Forson, the initiative will include a nationwide water body cleaning campaign in designated mining areas led by the Ghana Armed Forces. He added that the National Interministerial Committee on the Small-Scale Mining, NAMOS, will also intensify its efforts to combat illegal mining, with a focus on activities in rivers, streams, and forest reserves. Special efforts in the form of a nationwide water body cleaning campaign within designated mining areas will be undertaken by the Ghana Armed Forces. The NAMOS shall intensify their activities against illegal mining, especially illegal mining activities in water bodies and forest reserves, Dr. Forson said.
Now, away from the cleaning of the water bodies, the Cabinet has approved the Ghana Accelerated National Reserves Accumulation Policy, a strategic plan aimed at strengthening the country's resilience to the economic shocks.
Finance Minister Dr. Kizol Atuforson announced the policy while addressing Parliament on Wednesday, February 25th. Speaking to lawmakers, Dr. Forson explained that the policy seeks to increase Ghana's international reserve to an equivalent of 15 months of imports covered by the end of 2028 to strengthen Ghana's resilience to economic shocks. Cabinet has approved the Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy. He said the policy represents Ghana's strategic plan to strengthen external resilience by increasing the nation's international reserve equivalent of 15 months of imports covered by the end of 2028. The Finance Minister noted that the policy is accord on the objectives of the Ghana Gold Board Act 2025 at 1140, which mandates the Ghana Gold Board to generate foreign exchange for the country and support gold reserves accumulation by the Bank of Ghana. He added that the policy is informed by the country's cycle of economic downturns, recent macroeconomic developments, global risk assessments, and Ghana's long-term economic transformation agenda.
The Ghana Police Service has retrieved 7,113 slabs of suspected cannabis from an impounded truck in the Oti region, with a haul estimated to have a street value exceeding 1.4 million Ghana cedis.
The suspected narcotics were concealed in 320 cartons of bottled mineral water, which hid 91 bales of the substance, according to a press statement issued on Wednesday, February 25. The Volvo truck with registration number GC352209 was initially intercepted at the Bonache checkpoint on December 29, 2025, while heading towards Basa, following intelligence that it was transporting illegal goods. Police said the driver and one other occupant fled the scene, abandoning the vehicle with the ignition key. On February 24, 2026, the Jasikan Circuit Court, presided over by His Hannah Lambert Y. Kiriba, granted an order for the track to be opened. The exercise was conducted at Nkwanta in the presence of personnel from the police service, military, National Intelligence Bureau, NIB, Defense Intelligence, Ghana National Fire Service, the Narcotics Control Commission, JASICAN, and members of the media. The seized exhibits have been retained as investigations continue. Police have assured the public of their continued commitment to combating the trafficking and distribution of illegal drugs and urged citizens to volunteer credible information to support crime prevention and detection.
Away from that story, let's go to the business desk, where petroleum prices are expected to rise marginally from the first pricing window of March 2026, according to projection by the Chamber of Ghana Petroleum Consumers (COPEC).
In a statement dated 25th February, COPEC said petrol prices could increase by about 3.59%, while diesel is projected to rise by 1.52%. Liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, however, is expected to record a marginal decline of about 1.57% at the pumps. The projected changes are driven by a modest increase in international petroleum prices, despite a slight appreciation of the cedi. COPEC's analysis shows that global crude oil prices rose by about 1.2% during the review period, moving from 70.90 to 71.79 per barrel over the same window. The cedi strengthened marginally against the US dollar, appreciating about 0.24%. Petrol prices are expected to rise after the International Free on Board FOB price increased by 5.03% from 652.64 to 685.27 per metric ton. Based on this, petrol is projected to sell between 11.80 and 13.00 per litre. Diesel prices are also set to increase slightly, following a 2.29% raise in the international FOB price from 695.94 to 711.86 per metric ton. Diesel is expected to retail between 12.73 and 14.00 per litre. In contrast, LPG prices are projected to ease marginally. COPEC noted that the international FOB price of LPG declined by about 1.5% from 508.77 to 503.59 per metric ton, which combined with the cedi's appreciation could push retail prices down to between 11.48 and 12.69 per kilogram. Despite the anticipated increase in petrol and diesel prices, COPEC has urged oil marketing companies to maintain price sustainability where possible to reduce the burden on consumers.
Now we move straight to the international front, where Zimbabwe has rejected a U.S. health deal that would have provided $367 million, almost 272 million pounds in funding over 5 years because of Washington's demand for sensitive data.
The decision has come to light after a government memo from December was leaked, revealing the President Emmerson Mnangagwa felt the deal was lopsided. A government spokesman has since explained the US was demanding access to biological samples of research and commercial gain, but said it was not willing to share the benefits for future vaccines and treatments. In December, Kenya's High Court suspended a similar health funding agreement the government had signed with the US after a consumer rights lobby filed a case casting concerns about the safety of Kenya's health data. Since returning to office last year, US President Donald Trump has slashed foreign aid and closed the US Agency for International Development, USAID.
And that's it for the Mega News at 6. But before we go, let's go straight to the weather center. I'll bring the weather and just update. And then when we come back, we wrap up. So the weather update is brought to you from the MBN Weather Center in association with the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Now the weather and its updates. We're going to see a lot of fog patches happening across the entire country this morning, where the weather will be a bit stable, but on the same, it will turn out to be that people going out this morning should be able to take a cue from some of the things that we're going to put up this morning. Temperatures as well as the mixed fogs and patches are anticipated to form within the forest, coastal and the hilly areas during the early hours of the day. Thereafter, bright afternoon sunshine will be observed across the southern Ghana, paving way for some localized development of rain and tender clouds over parts of the coast, inland and coastal areas and the middle sectors from the mid-afternoons into the evening hours. Meanwhile, the northern and the front transition sectors will remain under dry and hazy conditions of varying intensity throughout the forecast period. Visibility across the country will range from 2,000 meters to 8,000 meters. Now the temperature for the next 24 hours: coast 23 degrees Celsius as the minimum and a maximum of 34. Forest 21 degrees Celsius, a maximum of 37. Transition 20 degrees Celsius, a maximum of 38. The northern sector will experience a minimum of 20 Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. And that brings us now, due to the dry conditions, the general public, especially in the transition belt and the northern sector, is strongly advised to handle naked flames with extreme caution to prevent fire outbreaks. And that's the update for the next 24 hours. If there's any unforeseen change, we'll bring you some more of those updates. And that brings us to the end of this morning news at 6. The news came to you live from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. But before we take leave of you, a recap of the headlines.
GAF to lead nationwide water body clean-up. NAMOS to intensify crackdown. In business, fuel prices set for marginal increase in March. LPG to fall, COPEC. And on the international front, Zimbabwe rejects lopsided U.S. health aid deal over data concerns.
My name is El Samuels. Up next is the sports update. Don't go away.
With some look faso.